Hello, good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm Meghan Maes. This is Being Civil in Minnesota. I come here every Saturday. I talk about legal issues and the court process. I help people get resources and information. This is not legal advice. I'm not agreeing to be your attorney. I am just having a great Saturday morning. My husband and I went up to the Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis last night, which is a super cool venue if you've never been there. And we got to see one of our favorite comedians, Joe List. We had dinner beforehand. Even with the 7 o'clock show, though, we got back pretty late to Mankato. After dinner, there's not really assigned seats, and so the usher was helping us find our seats, and it looked so busy, and I'm like, I'm so short, I'm gonna have to be in the back. This stinks. And they keep walking us up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we are within the first 6 rows. This is gonna be amazing. And they keep walking, and they keep walking, and they sit us down in the front row center. The entire time I'm literally looking up at Joe List, and it was really intimate, but it was very, very cool, very funny. So he was very gracious. He did photos with people afterwards, so please come back. Hysterical. Minnesota loves you. So today I'm going to talk about spousal maintenance. Used to be called alimony. They don't call it that anymore. So if you hear someone refer to it as, someone say alimony, it's likely they're referring to spousal maintenance. Minnesota has made some changes recently. Hey, good morning. And so I want to make sure everybody understands kind of what the rules are. So there are two kinds of spousal maintenance. There is transitional, and there is indefinite, and those refer to the amount of time that spousal maintenance is awarded. Spousal maintenance, for those that don't know, is a payment made by one spouse who has the ability to pay to one other spouse who has a need for it or doesn't have sufficient resources. And they look at things like the marital standard of living. What were things like when you were together? Obviously, when two people separate, you're going to have 2 mortgages, 2 internet bills, 2 water. So you can't exactly ever really have your former standard of living because now you have additional costs and expenses. So other than the length of time, so transitional or permanent. And the way that a court will decide that is it looks at how long you've been married. Those who have been married less than 5 years, and they look at the date of marriage to the date of the commencement of the action. And if you've not been married for 5 years, there's a presumption that there will be no spousal maintenance. The marriage is just not long enough to sort of need to untangle individuals, or that it has been such a long period of time in which somebody may be out of the workforce. A lot of considerations as to why there is that 5-year minimum. So 5 years, you hit that mark, you're like, yay, that's spousal maintenance. If you've been married for over 5 years, up to 20 years, there's a presumption of transitional spousal support, meaning that you would be presumed to get spousal support up to half of the length of your marriage. So 6 years, no more than 3. Up to 20 years, no more than 10. That is a transitional period of time, trying to get people up on their feet, giving them an opportunity to get back into the workforce or to find a different way to support their lifestyle or make adjustments. And if it's over 20 years, it is presumed to be indefinite. There are private agreements the parties can decide, we never want to come back and do this again. This is what it's going to be. This is the standard. We're not going to change this ever. Absolutely, you can do that. There are considerations, of course. What happens if somebody dies? What happens if a individual remarries, or they just have a cohabitation and cost sharing? So you want to take those things into consideration when you're deciding at what points, if ever, could the amount be modified, because maybe that need would not be as great then. So the two things that a court looks at when awarding spousal maintenance after it's decided that it's appropriate is the length of time, and that's determined with how long you've been married, and the amount. How much per month will be appropriate to maintain the standard of living and make sure that both households are not unable to meet their needs. A couple other changes is that one of the things that a court is seeing a lot of times is that a higher marital standard of living was funded primarily by debt. And if that's the case, the court is certainly going to consider that that is not a sustainable standard of living in which the parties are able to maintain that based on their income and resources available to them. So courts are not wanting to see families continue to have to go into debt to fund a lifestyle that maybe was beyond the means already. Financial disputes are one of the main reasons that people get divorces. So if a standard of living is funded by debt, I imagine that probably was a conversation had in that household. So if you have any questions about this or anything else, if you have questions about this topic, you can go ahead and post them in the comments. If you have other questions, you can post them at the Facebook group, Being Civil in Minnesota. I come here Saturdays at 10 to answer questions. You can post anonymously if you're not comfortable providing your personal information. I completely respect that. People you know have questions, send them my way. I'm going to get outside and go work on the lawn on the new building and enjoy the weather. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care, and I'll see you next week.